Have you seen this logo? This is a logo of the Booker Prize. They are an very Booker Prize is a very prestigious book award ceremony or show. They give awards to book every year. They have, I think, a various categories involving international, women, men Booker Prize. I don't really know how award shows work. I know the controversy behind Hugo Awards. I think that was really weird, of like China and stuff. But talking about Booker Prize, so I have read this Booker Prize shortlisted book and I have loved it very much. I've also read the details, which was shortlisted or longlisted for the International Booker Prize of 2024, and I absolutely adore that book too. And I have read these two books very recently. So far, it's 2 for 2 for them. I think they shine a light to a lot of books which I haven't heard of and I want to read. So like a few months ago, they released a long list of 13 books which are running for the Booker Prize winner. So out of those 13 books, I wanted to try reading some of them and see how like the modern book compared to what I have read throughout my life, which isn't a lot. So I have some few books in my already in my mind which I'm probably gonna read for this vlog, but also I want to do a quiz which is posted on their website about like which book you might like. So we're gonna take that quiz right now and we will see which book comes up. Let's see if I know my taste. There are like 2 or 3 books which I really want to read out of that. So, and also I won't be buying the books physically because most of them are very new and most of them aren't like really available in my area yet. So I'm gonna use my good old Kindle and read the ebook, and if I really like it, for sure I'm gonna buy the physical version to have as a trophy for my shelf. So let's get started with the quiz. Okay, so I have pulled up the Booker Prize's website. As you can see, there are all the 13 books which are there. You can see it. And let's take this quiz and see which books I get. I do have some books in here which are very high on my TBR, which I really want to read. But let's go through it. So which book should you read first? You can also take this quiz. I will link it down below. And so there are 13 books. I think there are 10 questions. Yeah, there are 10 questions. So question number 1 says, which Booker Prize nominated author would you most like to recommend a book to you? So out of this authors, I unfortunately know very few of them. I know Paul Murray, who is the author of The Beast Thing, and I really want to read that book. Last year it is one of the book I really hope to get to. I also know David Mitchell, who I think wrote Cloud Atlas. I think I only know Paul Murray and David Mitchell, and out of them Paul Murray. The Beast Thing sounds very interesting and I really want to read that, so I would like Paul Murray to recommend me a book, so I will choose that. Okay, next question. When choosing a book, what draws you in? So the first is social and political themes. I like my social and political themes in my fantasy, especially. Not really in like I haven't read any like very social heavy and political themes book in my lifetime, so probably not this one. Complex characters, I think this is my favorite option, because complex characters are really like I like my characters to have like a lot of depth, a lot of like mental health issues, like overcoming their issues, their anxiety, and their like complex relationships. I think all those stuff are really like I gravitate toward if a book has that. An intricate plot with unexpected turns. So I think this is more leaning towards like thriller or mystery genre, which is not really my type of like genres. I do like a good plot, but you know, I don't think it's very necessary if there are complex characters. And rich and atmospheric setting, I don't think you particularly need a rich setting I think it should be well balanced. Like I don't want like the setting to be like only like best part of a book. So out of these four options, my favorite is complex characters. So I will go with that. Next question is, which of these recent films have you enjoyed the most? So let's go through the all the list. So the first one is The Bottoms, and I haven't seen The Bottoms. I really want to watch it. Bottoms was by Emma Seligman, who also directed Shiva Baby, which is one of my favorite comedy slash horror movie. It, it's really small movie. Go watch it. It's such a good movie. It's about it's very sexual, and it's explored in a like very like intense and like tense way. Like it's just such a well tight movie. But I really want to watch Bottoms though. Past Lives, haven't seen it. Really want to. American Fiction, I know that there's an author who wrote American Fiction who's nominated for this. Dune, probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Hitman, haven't seen it. Eight Mountains, haven't heard of it. The Banshees of Inisherin. So yeah, that was a really good movie. I really liked Banshees of Inisherin. Very beautiful. It has a lot of complex characters in it, and yeah, it was a good movie. One Life. Next is One Life. Haven't heard of it. Killers of the Flower Moon. I tried watching it, but it felt too long. It was like 3.5 hours, which I only watched the first hour and then I didn't continue. Empire of Light. Haven't heard of it. All of Us Strangers. I really want to watch it, and same for The Perfect Days. I really want to watch that too. So out of this, I only watched two movies, Dune and Banshees of Inisherin, and out of them, Dune is probably my favorite movies in this list. So Dune it is. Next question is, long books or short book? What are you looking for in terms of length? So generally, I like. So it depends on a genre. I think fantasy book, I think at least need around like 500 pages for like proper world building and everything, with character world building and a lot of exposition. But like if you are looking at like a romance and like just a normal genre like other genres, I think a solid 300 to 350 pages mark is probably good. Also, like I usually see the books in terms of page numbers rather than the words in the words length. So I think it matters a lot. Like I think the page count is like it's not a very good way to judge a book length, but it's probably easier. So I think I will go with a happy medium, which is around I guess around 300. An average book is around 300 pages, right? I may be wrong about that. Next is, the most interesting stories are told. So this is like talking about setting. So I really like the cartoon. It looks good. So there are so many options. First is in a big city. I don't really. I prefer us in a small town more than in a big city. On a secret mission. That sounds cool, but I don't really want like a thriller or like action type of book. But deep in a countryside sounds okay. In a sporting arena, I know which book is this one is, at least I think so. Around a dinner table with family and friends, that sounds okay. Deep in the past and in outer space. So out of all these options, my favorite are in a small town, on a secret mission, not really, in a small town, deep in the past and in outer space. But I know which one in outer space is, and that one I'm not gonna choose. Deep in the past, I think I'm not really like feeling like watching some like trauma and like that related book. I think I will need a break from that because I just read the details, so don't want to get more into like past and like trauma. So out of this, I think I'll choose between these two. I think I'm gonna go in a small town. I think I'll go in a small town. Okay, next question is, which genre do you often gravitate towards? So I like the first option is, I like an edge of fantastical, which is very true. I love my fantasy. Second is something with a bit of romance. I don't really like very physical romance. I am like into very emotional, like intelligence and romance. The traditional romance books, I'm not really like gravitate towards those. But yeah, I do like some romance books. I enjoy something laced with humor. Humor is always nice, not like really something I look for in a book. Sometimes I do. Give me historical fiction any day. So I really want to get into historical fiction books. I have read like a few. I love Book Thief, and I don't think I've read any other books. Something suspenseful, not really a suspense person. I love a family drama. I don't feel like reading a family drama right now. So I think out of this, I will probably choose I Like an Edge of Fantastical, because I do think that fantasy is such a creative like genre, right? So what do you look for in a work of fiction? I look for okay, so this is talking about like themes basically. So there are three options: something with a bit of topicality, a book to help me escape, sharp observations about the past. So I read to escape. That's my main reason. I love reading because it makes me forget my real life, and real life is very stressful and I hate it. So books are my best friend right now. So I'm obviously gonna go for the second option. What do you want this book to make you laugh, make you cry, make your heart soar, teach you something new, blow your mind, make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? God, all of this sounds good. So I don't really care about laughing. Like sometimes I feel like crying. I have a lot of books which are sad books, but I haven't read a lot of them because I'm scared to. Makes my heart sore. It's a good option. Teach you something new. That's cool. Blow your mind. I think I like the last option. I think the last option of like make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. I think it will be something like shocking reveal. I think option 3 and last option is, out of them I'm really struggling. I think I'll go for the last one. That sounds cool. Okay, so the second question, your ideal character is. So my favorite character they're talking about, so someone who always puts family first, a passionate environmentalist, a stargazer, someone who always fights for justice, a small town crook, a war hero, an undercover agent, an outsider, a fiercely political, a passionate spokesperson. All of them sounds cool, but I think I'm a relate to an outsider person. I think I'll relate to an outsider, so I'm going to choose that. Do you judge a book by its cover? So I do like looking at a good cover of a book, but that's a hard question. Always or never, and the two options are always and never. I think there should be a sometimes, right? There should be a sometimes option, but these are the 13 books. Let's see what book we get. I hope I get something new, because I already have 2 books out here which I already want to read and have like loaded on my Kindle. So I don't think I do. I actually don't think I do, but I should though. I think I hold like reviews of people I follow, reviews of people who I trust and have given me good recommendation. Websites like this who provide like longlist and like award websites, right? I think I hold all these things higher than a cover. So a cover is probably my last of like worries to while buying a book. So I think I will go for it never. Okay, so the book we get is Wild Houses by Colin Barrett. Okay, so this wasn't the book on my TBR. I don't think there was one on my radar. So let's look at what this is about. So as Bellina prepares for its biggest weekend of the year, the simmering feud between small-time dealer Cillian English and Count Mayo's fraternal enforcers Gabe and Sketch Fredia spills over into violence and ugly ultimatum. When a reclusive Dave answers his door on a Friday night, he finds Doll, Cillian's teenage brother, in the clutches of Gabe and Sketch. Jostled by his nefarious cousins and goaded by his dead mother's dog, Dave is drawn headlong into Fredia's revenge fantasy. Meanwhile, 17-year-old Nikki can't shake the feeling of something bad has happened to her boyfriend Doll. Hungover, reeling from factitious Friday night and plagued by ghosts of her own, Nikki sets out on a feverish mission to save Doll, even as she questions her future in Bellina. Okay, this sounds complicated, and but I got it, so I have to read it because I got this in a quiz. So I think let's start with Wild Houses. This will be the first book I will read for my next video, and I also got 2 other books which I have planned in terms of like Booker prizes. We'll see you later on the next video, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you later. Bye.